Here the stage 2 begins at point FA and it ends at point G. Okay, the stage 2 begins on point F and it ends at point G. Corresponding to point F, you may see that FE curve reaches its maximum. Corresponding to point F, FE curve reaches its X maximum. FE, what is FE? FE is the average product of the labor. It reaches its maximum. At point J, total output per labor is increases. Total output per labor is increases. If that's why the FE curve reaches its maximum at point J, where at the point J where FPL equal to MPL, average product of the labor, is equal to the marginal product of the labor. Okay. After reaching the point J, both FP and MP, that is FP is the average product of the labor, and marginal product of labor decreases. Okay. And stage 2, here the output which increases at a decreasing rate or diminishing rate. This stage is known as the diminishing return. First one is the increasing return, second one is the diminishing return, third one is the negative returns. Okay, MP curve touches the horizontal axis at point K. In this stage 2, MP curve, what is MP? Marginal product of the labors, it reaches the horizontal point K. Here the output is the total output of the marginal product is 0. Okay, at point K, marginal product of the marginal product of the variable factors reduced to 0. What is the variable factor? Variable factor is the labor. Marginal product of the variable factor is 0 here. Since the both average and marginal product of the variable factor fall continuously, here both the marginal product and average product of the both factors of production of both marginal product as well as average product is continuously decreasing, and it reaches that point horizontal axis point K where it gets 0. Marginal product is 0. Okay, since why marginal product is 0? Since both the average and marginal product of the variable factor fall continuously, and this stage is known as the diminishing return. Here the total, that is, what is the impact on the total product? Total product is increasing at a diminishing rate, not same to the stage 1. Okay, not same as stage 1. In the stage 1, total product is increasing at an increasing rate. In the stage 2, total production is increasing at a diminishing rate. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? I hope everything is clear. Stage 1, stage 2 is clear to everyone. Then comes to the stage 3, the negative returns. Stage 3 begins from point G. The total product declines. Point G shows the total product is maximized. At that point, total product is just the highest point. Here the total product is greater than any other points. Okay, beginning from point G, total product declines. After reaching the highest point G, the total product start declining. Okay, total product start declining. Marginal product of the variable factor is negative. Marginal product of the variable factor, here consumer is getting less satisfaction, minus satisfaction. That's the marginal product of the labor is negative. Okay, product factor is negative given the fixed factor. What is fixed factor? Land is constant, and the variable factor is too much proportion. Hence the stage is called negative return. Here we are adding more number of labors, but output to the labor is negative, and hence the stage is known as the negative return, because marginal product per labor is negative. That's why the stage is known as the negative returns. Why this is happening? Why negative returns occur? Because of inefficient utilization of variable factors. We are adding more and more variable factors, and our fixed factor is remain constant. Inefficient utilization of variable factors. We are not utilizing our variable factors in a proper way. Over utilization of fixed factors. Here fixed factors 10 acres of land 10 acres of land is a fixed factor. The fertility of that land is declining. Okay, complexity of management. There is also issues at the end of the managers, at the end of the management. That's why the total production of a uh, particular farm is declining continuously. Anyone having any problems? Is it fine to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then comes to the next slide. जोड़ा मैं डिस्कशन कले एठी लेखा हिची आपण माने कि पढिबे. Then comes to the causes of increasing return. First stage, why this is happening? Increase in efficiency of fixed factor. Increase in efficiency of fixed factor. In the initial stages of production, the fertility of land is very high. In this stage, the production, the quantity of fixed factor is abundant. Quantity of fixed factor is abundant relative to the variable factor. Here, variable factor quantity of a fixed factor is greater than the quantity of variable factors. When more variable factors are employed, fixed factor is more efficiently utilized. In the initial stage, when we are adding more variable factors, the total product is increasing at an increasing rate. You may look at this table. Here, the units of the land is 10 acres and the units of labor is 0. Total product, which leads to total production 0, because here we don't have any variable factors. When total production 0, average production 0, marginal production is 0. When we are added, when the company or farm hire 1 units of variable factors with reference to 10 acres of the fixed factors, total production is increases to 20. Okay, average production is increases to 20. 20 divided by 1, 20. Marginal production is 20. When we have added 2 units of variable factors, which leads to the total production 50 and average production 25. 50 divided by 2, 25. And how much changes are there in the marginal production? 50 minus 20 is equal to 30. How to calculate marginal production? How much changes is there? In the previous stage, we have 20 total production. After adding 2 units of labor, our total production is increases to 50. 50 minus 20 is 30. Is it clear? First reason behind the increasing return, the increase in the efficiency of fixed factors. Okay, when more variable factors are employed, the fixed factor is more efficiently utilized. As such, increasing returns is achieved. We are able to, our total production is increases at an increasing rate because of the efficiency of the fixed factors as well as the addition of more variable factors. Increasing the efficiency of variable factors. Due to additional unit of variable factors employed at the beginning of the efficiency of the productivity capacity of the variable factor itself increases. When we are adding more and more variable factors to the fixed factors, the total production is increases at an increasing rate because the fertility of the land is very high in the initial stages of production, as well as the efficiency of the variable factor is also high. That's why there is a increasing returns. Returns are achieved in the first stages of the production. Is it okay? Is it clear to everyone? The reason behind the increasing return? Yes or no? Why nobody is responding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then comes to the reason behind the causes of decreasing return to scale. Why this is happening? Okay. The scarcity of fixed factors. In short run, amount of fixed factor cannot be changed. And as you know, this law is based on the short-run production function. Law of variable proportion is based on the short-run production function. And law of return to scale. After completing this theory, we will move to return to scale. That is a long-run production function. In the short run, amount of fixed factor cannot be changed. As you know, in the short run, Some factors are fixed, some factors are variables. Here we are assuming one fixed factor, one variable factor. Fixed factors become inadequate relative to the quantity of variable factor. Here fixed factors become inadequate related to the quantity of variable factors. Here we are adding, as you know, look at this table को देखो एठी देखो हमें कोन लेबर्स को हायर कर चलचंती हमर प्लांट रा फिक्स अछि किंतु हमें यूनिट्स ऑफ लेबर इज इंक्रीजेस at increasing rate रे फर्स्ट हमें 0 थिले 1 2 3 4 5 एमते कि हमें 8 पर्यंत लेबर हायर करचंती किंतु एठी कोन होउची in certain fixed factor cannot be changed हमें fixed factor को चेंज कर परिबानी केवल हमें वेरिएबल फैक्टर को चेंज करचंती and it becomes inadequate relative to the quantity of the variable factor. This results in the decreasing returns. Some time will come, the fixed factors are the scarcity of fixed factors leads to the decreasing returns in the total production. Indivisibility of fixed factors, we cannot divide the fixed factor. Once the optimum proportion between the fixed factor and variable factor is distributed, by further increase in variable factor, indivisible factor being used in a wrong proportion. आमको कोन जति कि we need a proportion केते fixed factor रहबो केते variable factor रहबो after increasing खाली हमें तो fixed factor को increase कर पाना तो we are increasing only variable factor which leads to misproportion which also impact our total production. Okay, imperfect substitutability of factor, we cannot substitute the fixed factor against the variable factors. Fixed factor is inadequate relative to the variable factor which quantity cannot be increased in accordance. As per our requirement, we cannot increase the fixed factor. We are only can increase the variable factors. Okay, there is a lack of substitutability between the two factors. Okay, quantity cannot be increased in accordance with the varying quantities of other factors. This result diminishing returns. Here we are hiring more and more variable factors, and the fixed factor is remain constant, which leads to the decreasing returns in the second stage of production process. Okay. Then comes the negative returns. We have already discussed the causes behind the negative returns. Inefficient utilization of variable factors. We are not able to utilize the variable factors in a proper way. That's why there is a negative returns in the third stages of production. And overutilization of fixed factor. We are, as you know, after a period of time, the fertility of the land is also decreases. Okay, due to overutilization of fertilizers, okay, fertilizers and pesticides, and the complexity of management. If management also plays a big role in the overall production, overall efficiency of that farm. Okay, these are the three stages of the law of variable proportion. Okay, if there is a question in your examination, you should first draw the table, then diagram. Okay, then you'll explain stage by in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 in details. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, can you move forward?
Yes, sir.
Can you move to next slide?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Then come to the law of return to scale. Law of return to scale. Law of return to scale is based on the long run concept. In the it examines the impact on output when all factors of production are varied or changed. It impacts on the output. Here we what is output here? Output is the total production. It impacts on the output when all factors of production are varied or changed. As you know, in the long run, all factors of production are variables. All factors of production are variable. In the short run, some factors are fixed, some factors are variable. Return to scale can be constant, increasing, decreasing, or depending upon the response showed by the output to change. This return to scale may be increasing, may be constant, or maybe decreasing. Okay. It depends upon the response shown by the output to change in the factor's quantity. Output respond that may be increasing, that may be decreasing, that may be constant. According to Professor Roger Miller, return to scale refers to the relationship between the change in output and proportionate change in all factors of production. it shows the relationship between the change in output. Change in output means change in total production, which refers to the change in output in proportionate change to all factors of production. Here we have taken into account change in output with reference to change in all factors of production. It shows the return to scale. You should simply remember return to scale refers to the change in output with reference to change in all factors of production. Mandela, you should write.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, very good. Return to scale refers to the relationship between the change in output with reference to change in all factors of production. Okay. To meet long-run change in demand, the farm increases its scale of production. To meet long-run change in demand, In the long run, what is long run? In the long run, so it refers to a period of time. To change in demand, the farm increases its scale of production. When the farm increases its scale of production, then he can able to meet the requirement of a larger section of population. To produce more goods and services, farm will definitely hire more factors of production, and he will definitely go for more machines, tools. Okay, but the scale of production. Scale of production means the size or level of farm's productive capacity. Scale of production means the size of production, okay, or level of production. It denotes the quantity of goods and service a farm can produce using its available resources. Here, resources means both the fixed factors as well as fixed factors as well as the variable factors. Here, we have not taken into account any fixed factors. All factors are variable factors, because in the long run, farm can change everything. Manager can change everything, or you can the farm can change everything. No factors are fixed. Okay. You can say under scale of production, there may be small scale production or large scale production. What is small scale production? Small scale production is a production carried out on a small level. Limited factors of production, uses limited resource like labor and capital. It is suitable for local market. Just like your example, handicraft, small workshop, for cottage industries, small scale cottage industries, they are hiring one or two variable factors and some machine tools. Okay, they are using their family labors in the production process. On the other hand, large scale production, what is that? It employs massive production with a large capital investment. And heavy machineries and tools are installed. Thousands of employees are working. Uses of advanced technology. They are using advanced technology with large labor force, and it is basically it is suitable for national and international business or international market. Just like your example, automobile manufacturing, textile factories. These are the large scale production. Okay. Mandela, return to scale, it refers to the relationship between the change in output with reference to change in all factors of production. I'm highlighting the concept. Okay. Then comes to the next slide. There are three scales to there are three return to scale. Increasing return to scale, constant return to scale. Previous slide. Okay.
Okay, Zatan.
Okay. Then comes to the return to scale. There are three types of return to scale. First one is increasing return to scale. Then is a constant return to scale. Then there is a diminishing return to scale. There is no negative return to scale in the long run production function. Okay. In the long run, output can be increased by increasing all factors in the same proportion. How can we increase the output? How can farm increase the output? By increasing all factors of proportion, all factors of production. But in the short run, we cannot increase all factors of production. We cannot increase the fixed factors like land. But in the long run, we can increase all factors of production. How can we increase? Because it is allowed to increase all factors of production. Because in the long run, there is an ample amount of time that is available to the farm. Generally, law of return to scale refers to an increase in output due to increase in all factors the same proportion. Or you can I can write the definition of law of return to scale. It refers to the increase in output due to increase in all factors of proportion. All factors of production in the same proportion. Okay. Law of return to scale, I'm repeating once again. Law of return to scale refers to the increase in output due to increase in factors in the same proportion. Increase in output due to increase in factors in the same proportion. Details. What is increasing return to scale, constant return to scale, diminishing return to scale, photo diagram. Here, suppose initially production function follows P equal to function of LK. What is LK? LK is the labor and capital, which are the independent variable. What is P? P is the output, but P is the dependent variables. L and K is the independent variable. Here we can change the L and K, labor and capital. These are the independent variable. These factors leads to the output. Okay. If both the factors of production, labor and capital increase the same proportion, production function can be rewritten. आमे आउथर लिखि परिबा जति लेबर और कैपिटल को इंक्रीज करछंती आउटपुट रे आर पॉजिटिव इंपैक्ट पड़िबो. आउटपुट पॉजिटिव इंपैक्ट मींस आउटपुट विल इंक्रीज. एट देखो P1 equal to function of XL XK. Okay, what is X? X is the commodity. Okay, if P1 increases in the same proportion as the increase in the factors of production, then it's a constant return to scale. If P1, what is P1? Is the output. If labor and capital increases, if P1 increases, if output increases in the same proportion to labor and capital, we can say we can assume there is a constant return to scale in the production process. If P1 increases less than proportionate increase in the factors of production, P1 is less than in with reference to labor and capital, then we can say that is a diminishing return to scale. If P1 increases more than proportionate increase in factors of production, labor and capital tharu P1 ta jeti adhiko increase hochi tame kon kariba, increasing return to scale. We can say that is a increasing return to scale. Look at this table here, units of labor. Here we are taking into account the variable factors, two variable factors. I mean, units of labor. As you know, labor is the variable factors. Capital is also variable factors. What is capital? Capital, it may be the machineries, tools. Okay. Units of labor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and units of capital. 3 units of capital. First, we have taken 3 units of capital. Then 9 units of capital. Here 2 units of labor and 9 units of capital. And the percentage increase in the labor and capital, how much percentage increases is there? 100%. 100% increases in the labor and capital. And let's do total product. How much total product we are achieved? 30. Total product increases from 10 to 30. Okay. When we are using 1 units of labor, 3 units of capital, the total product is 10. When the units of labor increases from 1 to 2 and units of capital increases from 3 to 9, total product increases from 10 to 30. Percentage increase in total product 10 to 30. The percentage increase in total product is 200%. In the first stage, the first 200%, 100%, that's increasing. The total product is increasing at increasing rate. Okay, increasing return to scale. Okay, in the second stage, that's a constant return to scale. Okay, constant. How much increase? There is a same. The units of labor and capital increases. How much units of labor and capital increases is equal to the increase in the total product. That's why there is a constant return to scale. Okay. And in the third stage is known as the decreasing return to scale. Okay. Units, we are increasing the units of labor from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and we are also using the capital from 15 to 18, 18 to 21, and the percentage increase in labor and capital 25%, 20%, 16.6%. Total product is increasing 120 to 130, and the percentage increase in total product kete increase korchi 100 thila in the so when we are using 5 units of labor and 15 units of capital, the total product is 100. And again, when we are adding 1 more units of labor and 3 3 more units of capital, our total product increases to 120. There is only 20 units of total product is increases. That the return to scale is decreasing. The total product is obviously total product is increasing, but not as a increasing rate, not as a constant rate. Is increasing at a decreasing rate. Okay, the return to scale is decreasing rate. Will is that clear? Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we will understand in details increasing return to scale, decreasing return to scale, and constant return to scale. Okay. Increasing return to scale or diminishing cost. Increasing return to scale is also known as the diminishing cost. When the total production is increases, total production increases means the total cost is also decreases. That's why it is also known as the diminishing returns. It refers to a situation when all factors of production are increased, output increases at a higher rate. It refers to a situation where all factors of production means the labor and the capital are increased, which leads to increase in output at a higher rate. Okay, it means if all जति हम एटी देखिले केते हला एटी 200% रा हमर इंक्रीज होची 200 100% एमती इंक्रीज होची by increasing units of labor and capital. If it means if all inputs are double, output will also increase at a faster rate than the double. If all inputs are double, inputs means labor and capital double, output will increase faster rate than double. Double will be adhika our increase huge. Okay, hence it said that increasing return, hence that's why it is known as the increasing return to scale. This is increased due to many reasons. Why this is happening? Because of the division of external economies of scale. External economies of scale, because the efficiency of the labors, and the uses of technology. We are using technology through the capital instruments. Okay. External economies of scale means are the external economies of scale are the cost benefit that firm enjoy due to the expansion and the development of industries. Why this is happening? That the cost benefit when you are expanding your business, that means your the cost of production is also in decreases. Suppose you are suppose let's take an example. Suppose you are cooking for 10 peoples and you are increasing right now you have set your mindset you are going to cook for 50 numbers of peoples. Okay, obviously the same time you will cook for the 50 numbers of peoples, the cost of the production the overall total cost of production increases, and the cost of the time as well as the uses of utensil decreases. Okay, it remains same. Okay, it refers to the external economic scale, refers to that the cost benefit that a firm enjoy due to the expansion and the development of an industries. When expansion or development of industries, that leads to the external economies of scale. Okay, increasing returns to scale can be explained with the help of diagram. Look at this diagram. Okay, here units of labor and capital denoted in the horizontal axis, and returns outputs are denoted in the vertical axis. Okay, here OX axis represent labor and capital. OX axis horizontal axis is represented labor and capital, and OY axis shows the increase in output. OY axis increase in output or returns. When labor and capital is increases from Q to Q1, labor and capital is increases from OQ to OQ1, output which also increases from OP to OP1, which is higher than the factors of production. Output is OP to OP1 is greater than OQ to OQ1. Okay, is higher than the factors of production, labor and capital. Output is higher than the factors of production of labor and capital. Or you can say that OP1 is greater than OQ1. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then comes the diminishing returns. Diminishing returns or increasing cost. Your diminishing returns, output which increases at a diminishing rate, the cost will be increased. Diminishing returns is also known as the increasing cost. Refers that production, it is a situation where all factors of production are increased in a given proportion, output increases in a smaller proportion. All factors of production are increasing. We are increasing the all factors of production. The labor and capital is increasing. Output is increases in a smaller proportion. We are not finding any output is increases in a smaller proportion, not as much as the fastest increasing returns. It means that if inputs are double, inputs means the factors of production, labor and capital double, output will be less than double. Output will be less than double. आउटपुट रे कोन सेठी कोन होतला डबल रु अधिक होतला एठी कोन डबल रु कम होबो. Just example, for example, if 20% increase in labor and capital followed by 10% increase in output, we are increasing 20% in the labor. We have assumed that 20% increase in labor and capital, but there is a 10% increase in output. Okay. Look at this diagram. In the case, this is the figure 9. Okay, diminish here O x-axis shows the labor and capital, and returns or output shown in the vertical axis, O y-axis. When OQ, when the labor and capital is increases from OQ to OQ1, output is increases from OP2 to OP1. Obviously, as the figure shows, OQ1 is greater than OP1. How much increases is there? Q1 is greater than the P1, isn't it? This portion is greater than this portion. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then comes to the next slide, constant return to scale. Constant return to scale or constant cost. Okay, constant return to scale is also known as the constant cost. It refers to the production situation when output increases exactly same proportion in which factors of production are increased. How much? Suppose we are increasing 10 units, 10%. We are increasing 10% in our input. 10% increase and output will also increase 10%. In simple terms, the factors of production double, output will be double. So the factors of production को double कर दबा, output भी double है. Diagram रे देखिबा. Yes. This is figure 10. Labor and capital denoted in the horizontal axis, and returns, or you can see the output is denoted in the vertical axis. OQ. So here labor and capital increases from OQ to OQ1. Output is also increases from OP to OP1. Here OQ equal to OP and OQ1 equal to OP1. Okay, therefore there is a constant return to scale. How much percentage we are increasing input, which leads to the same percentage increase in our output. Okay, then comes to the next slide. With this, your return to scale is over. Then comes to the cost concept. Okay, cost. What is cost? Cost is something that we bear in the production process. Okay, cost may be defined as cost. There are different types of cost is there. Explicit cost, implicit cost, sunk cost. We'll discuss in details one by one. Cost may be defined as the monetary value of all sacrifice made to achieve that objective, to produce goods and services. In order to produce goods and service, you need to bear certain amount of cost. You need to make payment to the laborers. You need to make payment to the you need to make payment to the laborers. You need to make payment to the land as rent. You need to make payment to the capital as interest. Costs are very important in the business decision making. Cost of production provides the floor of pricing. How much cost you are bearing through this production process, that you will through the cost you will set your the price. Okay, what is price? Value expressed in terms of money, that is known as the price. It helps the manager to take correct decision, such as what price to put, kete tanga price rakhibo product ro, whether to place a particular order of input or not, whether to abandon or add to product to the existing product or line, or so on. Same price rakhibo ke taku change karibo. Okay, it helps to manager take a correct decision, such as what price to put, whether to place a particular order or not. Okay, if what is the objective of manager? To maximize the profit. In order to maximize profit, he has to maximize his revenue. In order to maximize revenue, he must maximize the sales. That is sales maximization. Sales maximization leads to revenue maximization. Revenue maximization leads to profit maximization. Okay. And what is the definition of cost? Cost is defined as the monetary value of all sacrifice made to achieve the objective. What is the objective? To produce goods and services. Then what is actual cost? Actual cost means the actual expenditure incurred in the producing goods and services. In order to produce and goods and service, you need to bear certain amount of cost. Value of raw material, you need to purchase the raw material in order to produce goods and services. Suppose you are there is a consumer goods. Suppose you are producing consumer goods. In order to produce consumer goods, you need to purchase raw materials from different sources. You need to make payment to the laborers as wage. You need to make payment to the land as a rent. You need to make payment to the person those who are working in your companies. Okay. Interest to the borrowed capital. In order to start any business, you have borrowed certain amount of money from bank or from any other sources. As per the agreement, you need to make payment. You need to make payment both interest as well as the principal amount to the bank or to the any other sources where you have borrowed certain amount of money in order to start your business. Actual cost is also known as the absolute cost or outlay cost or money cost. Actual cost, there are other different name of the actual cost. They're like absolute cost, money cost. Okay. Bujha padla? Actual cost means the actual expenditure incurred on producing goods and services. How much expenditure incurred to produce goods and services. Next, come to the next slide. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost measured in terms of the foregone benefit from the next best alternative use of the given resources. Suppose you have 1 acre of land. Suppose you have 1 acre of land. At the same time, you cannot produce two varieties of crops. You can go either one crop or sacrifice another. That is the next best alternative. For example, the inputs which you are used to manufacture a car may also be used to the production of a military equipment. Acres land record nelle example nejanti. Inputs which are used to manufacture a car. Inputs, those raw materials are used for the manufacturing of a car, may also be used for production of military equipment. But you cannot satisfy both of you wants at the same time with the same resources. Okay, that is known as the opportunity cost. Or simple, should remember opportunity cost is the next best alternative cost. Next best alternative cost. Okay, the opportunity cost of any commodity is the only next best alternative for give up kar douchanti. Suppose I have planned. Suppose I have a 10 acre of land. I can produce only wheat. Otherwise, I have to sacrifice paddy. If I am growing the paddy, I have to sacrifice wheat. Okay. Is that clear to everyone so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then comes to the explicit cost. Explicit cost is a cost that actually incurred by the farm. I have discussion kortale. This is the different name. Explicit cost as the cost that is directly incurred by the farm. Here, farm is the entrepreneur. Those who are taking the business. Those who are actively engaged in the production process. Okay. Companies or organizations during the production process, explicit cost is the cost that directly incurred by harm company organization during the production process. Okay. Explicit cost kept on record on the accountant of the firm. How your salary payment to the employees, wage to the laborers, rent to the land, raw materials. These are the explicit cost. These are the examples of explicit cost that firms bear directly. Entrepreneurs have to pay certain amount of during the production process. Entrepreneur has to pay these types of cost. They have to make payment to these different stakeholders. Explicit cost is also known as out of pocket cost. This cost is known as the out of pocket cost because you are whether you are getting profit or not, that does not matter. You have to, since you have hired certain amount, since you have hired employee, you need to make payment. You need to make wage for their as remuneration to the laborers. This cost is handy in calculation both accounting and economic profit. This cost consider करते calculating accounting profit as well as the economic profit. Implicit cost just opposite to explicit cost. It refers the opportunity cost of using firm's own resources. Suppose you are investing your time, your capital, your land. Suppose you are starting your business in your parental land. Since you have started your business in your parental land, you don't need to make any payment, any rent to that land possesses certain value, certain money value, but you are not paying that monies to anyone. That is known as the implicit cost. And you are sacrificing your time. Okay, you are at the same time, since you are working here, and you are the employee. If since you are hiring other employee, you are making payment. That is the part of explicit cost, and you are not making any payment to yourself. You are not making any payment to yourself, and you are anxiously waiting for profit. After the production process, how much profit is there? That goes to my account as entrepreneurs, and you are not making any payment as labor to yourself. What are the features of implicit cost? No actual cash payment is involved. You are not making any actual cash payment as implicit cost. It is a non-monetary cost. It is a non-monetary cost. Suppose your family member is also working in your business. You are not making any payment to them. Okay. Suppose you are using your inherited property in your business. You are not making any rent to them. Okay. It is important in calculating economic profit, but not in accounting profit. Accounting profit re implicit cost ko ame consider karantini, but in economic profit re, while calculating economic profit, we are also using the implicit cost while analyzing the cost and benefit. That is the sunk cost. Sunk cost refers to the cost that has already been incurred and cannot be recovered. Sunk costs are those costs which cannot be recoverable. That cannot be recovered, regardless of future action or decision. Whatever the action you are going to make, that cannot be recovered. Suppose you have made payment to the suppose you have made payment as waste to your labors, that cannot be recovered. It is irreversible. It should not influence future decision because it cannot be changed. You cannot recover. Suppose you are going to face a loss. You cannot recover the cost. Economists, suppose you have taken loans from any from a relatives or from bank. I mean, loans nature, तुमको interest payment କରିବାକୁ पड़ेगा. Okay. तुम्हारा benefit cost मैंने कहा profit हो कि loss हो. You have to, since you have taken loans from the bank, you have to make payment as interest and principal. Examples of sunk costs: advertising expenses. Suppose you are manufacturing one particular product. In order to maximize your sales, you are advertising product in print media, in electronic media. After advertisement, you are not getting any profit. Advertisement kala pore bhi kichhi profit nahi. That The advertisement cost cannot be recovered. Okay, money spent on art campaigning that cannot be refunded. Okay, okay, is that clear? बहुत सारा कॉस्ट अच्छे ताको सब मन रखिबो हला. Fixed cost is the part of total cost that does not change with the level of output. Fixed cost cannot be changed with the level of output. It remains constant even if the firm produce nothing or produce full capacity. Just example, rent of factory. Suppose you have taken a land. As per your negotiation, you have to make payment to the landowner as rent, whether you are producing or not producing. Salary of manager paid regardless of output level. Suppose you are suppose you are your production is 0 for a particular month. You have to make payment to the person those who have hired by you. Depreciation. You know depreciation. There is a different term, depreciation and revaluation, devaluation. Different terms in economics terms. Depreciation, a reduction in value of machine and building, a reduction of a value of goods and service after a period of time. Suppose you have purchased a mobile phone for fun. After 2 months, after five months, after 1 year, the value of your mobile phone is decreases. That is known as the depreciation. Suppose you have purchased a mobile phone at the cost of 15,000. Okay, after 1 year, the value of your mobile phone is not 15,000. The value of your mobile phone will be your device will be considered as a second-hand good, and the value of your mobile phone will be decreases. Okay, that is known as the depreciation. Okay, variable cost refers to cost that changes directly or proportionately with the level of output. If output is increases, variable cost is increases. If output is 0, variable cost also 0. Example number, raw materials. More units need more raw materials. Suppose you are producing more goods and services. In order to produce more goods and services, you need to have more raw materials. Ways of daily labor. Payment depends on the amount of work or hours of done. As per your requirement, you need to, since you are going to produce more goods and services, you need to have more laborers. Okay, it depends on the volume of production. It can be changes with reference to the time, with reference to the output. TC, what is TC? TC is the total cost. Total cost is the total. TC is the total expenditure input in the production of goods and services. Total expenditure, total kete tonga kharcha hoji during the production process. That is known as the TC. Total cost is the total expenditure input in the production of goods and services. Okay, what is TC? TC is the sum total of a TFC plus TVC. Total fixed cost as well as plus total variable cost. Okay, and AC, as you know, AC is the average cost. AC is total cost divided by units by the units produced. Okay, average cost is not actual cost, is obtained by dividing the total cost by total output. Total cost and total output का divide कर दोचंती हमको AC मिल जाउची. Okay, and marginal cost, the cost incurred in producing one additional unit of commodity. Okay, सबको marginal word टाको मन रखिथिबो. The total cost incurred when producing one additional unit of commodity. Whenever marginal words comes, additional words will definitely come. Mondaila marginal cost, the cost incurred on producing one additional unit of commodity. Okay, then comes to the function, cost function. The cost of output, it says the relationship plays shows the important role in determining the optimum level of production. Cost of output plays an important role in determining the optimum level of production. How much cost is there and how much total production is there, how much expected profit is there. These are factors which affect our price. TC equal to function of Q. What is TC? Total cost. And Q is the quantity produced. F is the function. How much TC how much quantity of quantity of goods and service produce is produce. It depends on the total cost. Q is your independent variable. TC is the dependent variable. If quantity अधिक production करेगा, then TC total cost भी increase करेगा. When Q increases, TC is also increases. That is a direct function relationship between Q, or you can say the output and cost. Okay. There is a short run cost.
Previous slide.
Yes.
Previous slide.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
one.
This slide. Okay. Q is your independent variable. This is the dependent variable. When quantity of output, when the total production quantity of output is increases, total cost is also increases. There is a direct function relationship between Q and output and cost.
So done.
Then
Thank
comes
you.
this. Okay.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Then comes to the short run cost and long run cost. Short run cost, it refers the period of time where time is too short to expand the size. That's why in the short run, the size of industry is fixed, and the increasing demand has to meet within the existing size of industries, because there are certain factors which cannot be changed in the short run. As you know, in the short run, we cannot change our fixed factors. It is difficult for the farm to change the fixed factors like land and capitals. So short run cost are those costs which vary with output. With a fixed plant and capital equipment remain unchanged. In the short run cost, we are not able to change the fixed factors like plant size. It is not possible for the manager to change the plant size as well as the fixed factors like land. Long run cost, the size of an industry can be expanded to meet the increasing demand for the products, such as long run, all factors of production can be increased according to the need. As for our own requirement, suppose there is a huge demand, for our product in the market. In that case, we can increase our total production by expanding our land, by expanding our business size or plant size, or by hiring more factors of production like land, labor, and capitals. Okay. Short-term cost and long-term cost is nothing, but it is based on the time period. Okay. There is no much difference between the short-term and constant except time. Okay. Time and factors, variable factors and fixed factors. তারপরে আছে short-term average cost. The average fixed cost is the total fixed cost divided by the number of units produced. Average fixed cost is the total fixed cost divided by number of units produced. Or you can say the AFC equal to TFC by Q. What is TFC? TFC is the total fixed cost and Q is the output. When we are dividing TFC by Q, by output we will get AFC, average fixed cost. Suppose TFC of a farm is 2000. The total fixed cost of a farm is 2000. If output is 100 units, how much output is there? 100 units. And you will get AFC. What is average fixed cost? TFC by Q. 2000 divided by 100, that is 20. Is it fine? Similarly, average variable cost, PVC, total variable cost divided by output Q. Therefore, average variable cost per unit of output. What is FVC? FVC is the average variable cost per unit of output. Here, TVC, we are taking into account TVC, means total variable cost with reference to the output. Okay. When we are dividing total variable cost with reference to the output, we'll get AVC, average variable cost. Okay. Is it fine to everyone? In the next class, we will continue the remaining portion of this unity. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Hello, students.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. चलो ମାନେ ଦି ଜଣ ହିଁ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛନ୍ତି ବୋଧେ ଦି ଜଣ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛ କି ରେ
No, ma'am. 10 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି।
Good morning, ma'am.
गुड मॉर्निंग
Good morning, ma'am.
गुड मॉर्निंग गुड मॉर्निंग अच्छा हाँ ओके चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट पिलामाने वेट अ मोमेंट स्लाइड क्लियरली देखा गला मु क्लियरली सुबा गली पिलामाने
Yes, ma'am.
ओके see yesterday we have discussed something about FW Taylor, Frederick Winslow Taylor, and his contributions, right? Contribution about FW Taylor, he contributed techniques of scientific management, already we have completed, and also some principles of scientific management. Principles of scientific management means these are the different principles of scientific management, no? And here already I told you yesterday, science, what do you mean by science, but not rule of the thumb, right? Apart from this, he contributed towards the standing principles of scientific management. It related to differential payment, group harmony, not discord, cooperation, not individualism, and scientific selection and training. What do you mean by this? See, differential payment, according to F.W. Taylor, he introduced two things. One is time wage system. Second one is piece wage system. Mane rakhiba. Hela. He introduced time based system and piece based system. Now, mane kona ma'am? See, F.W. Taylor said organization should pay wages to the worker on the basis of two factors. One is time based, another is piece based. Time based means after completion of time, one worker how much time spending towards the organization. Suppose the worker is spending towards the organization 8 hours. So how much the worker should get in that particular day, right? That is a time base. After completion of time, how much time you are spending towards the organization, right? And piece-based system means after completion of the production and productivity, means how much unit you are producing per day. A worker, how much unit producing per day. That is the piece-based system. It means, and he emphasized towards piece-based system. Why? Because he said through piece-based system only, organization production and productivity can be increased. How? Now suppose देखो एटू मु कहूची आमे एटी 5 जण काम करची 5 workers are there in a production area. One worker produced 1 unit, another worker, second worker produced 2, likewise 3, 4, 5. पांचटा worker फास्टा गोटे यूनिट कला सेकेंड टा दुईटा थर्ड टा तीन टा फोर्थ टा एमती करिकरी बढ़ी बढ़ी को से माने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट यूनिट कले. Ultimately, if one worker producing 1 unit and another worker producing 5 unit, means that worker, those produced 5 unit, that worker definitely spend much more time, effort, energy towards the work. Obviously, like जने जदि थर्ड डिविजन आंची जने जदि फर्स्ट डिविजन आंची तो फर्स्ट डिविजन तार किछि तो एफर्ट थिबो ना मन को तेमते फर्स्ट डिविजन आसीबोनी हैला. जने जदि आईएएस पाउची जने जदि बिल्कुल पाउनी ताहले सा जे आईएएस पाउची तार भी तो किछि गुटे एफर्ट थिबो ना दिन को 18 घंटा पाठ पढुची हैला 18 आवर्स. तो से अनुसार से तार एफर्ट देला से अनुसार तार रिटर्न्स पाइला. तो जदि एटी गोटे लोक अधिक एफर्ट दोची ताहले गोटे अधिक रिटर्न्स पाइबा दरकार ना दरकार नो. से कहले एफडब्ल्यू टेलर he said if one person is producing less unit, another person is producing more unit, then we have to give more wages to that particular workers. तामाने आमे जदि गोटे यूनिट को 100 रुपीस रे हिसाब करिबा फर्स्ट वर्कर को आमे 100 टंका देले सेकंड वर्कर 200 थर्ड वर्कर 300 फोर वर्कर 400 and 5 worker we will give 500 rupees. So ultimately what will happen? Ultimately, na, here the competition will increase, and on the basis of this, worker will give more time, more effort, more energy, and basing on this, production can be also enhanced in the organization. So this is what the differential payment based on the production, based on the productivity, based on the workers, means we have to, on the basis of workers spending times and everything, so we have to provide wages on the basis of this. And he said we have to adapt these things in the specifically in the production area. Right? It is a differential payment. Now group harmony not discord. See, he said while we are working in a group, while we are working in a team, so we have to maintain discipline in the group. We have to maintain peace in the group. We should not create any kind of conflict. No. So we have to adopt cooperative attitude. Next देखो अच्छी सेटा ग्रुप हार्मोनी नॉट डिस्कर्ड रो कोऑपरेशन नॉट इंडिविजुअलिज्म टा एक्सटेंड करा जायछि, राइट? तो एटी से कहिले while the people are working in a group we have to maintain harmony means peace, no? We have to minimize conflict, we have to minimize dispute, we have to minimize any kind of means what, any kind of misunderstanding. So we have to enhance peace and harmony, cooperative attitude, cooperation, coordination, mutual understanding, supporting. This kind of attitude we have to adapt so that the group, the team, it can be successful. No, this said by F.W. Taylor. Apart from this, he extend this concept towards 4 factor. 10 number टाको से extend कले, सेटा को ही harmony रू से कहले cooperation factor टा. He said cooperation not individualism. It means what? इंडिविजुअल पर्सन धर मु जदि जो कामटा करूची मु जो डिसीजन टा नउची से कामटा सपोज करिबा को इट मे विल टेक मच मोर टाइम, नो? And the decision also may not be effective and perfect and means what? It may not be. मु जो डिसीजन टा नेबी, right? If we are working in a group, working in a team, and here in individualism to group and team, he emphasized more towards the group and team, and where the individual person may not do that much of things, no, may not do that much of work, may not go that much of extent, but the group can be do everything, and the group can go any extent, the group can take wise decisions, the group can work properly and quickly, right? So he said instead of individualism we have to give more cooperation. आसीगला माने का को निजे को निजे कोऑपरेट करिबि कि जदि कोऑपरेशन हार्मनी, नो, सब आसीगला माने सेटा काहा को डिस्क्राइब करूची, इट डिस्क्राइब टुवर्ड्स ग्रुप ओनली डियर स्टूडेंट्स, है जदि कि हमें सब मेंटेन करिबा, जोटा इंडिविजुअल करि परिबनी सेटा टीम और ग्रुप करि परिबा, एंड इट मस्ट बी वेरी सक्सेसफुली, नो? दैट्स इट बाय एफ.डब्ल्यू. टेलर. And scientific selection and training मु स्टार्टिंग रे ही कहितली, scientific selection training रे स्टार्टिंग रे कोन कहितली, F.W. Taylor said, no, कोन करिबा ना, the organization should select right person in the right job. Select कोन करिबा रे, right person in the right job on the basis of qualification, on the basis of experience, on the basis of knowledge, skills, ability, talent, no? Right person in the right job. Train them adequately. After selection, we have to give proper training to the person. Train them adequately. Place them where they suited. See, कौन कहिले? Place them, selection and training. It means what? Scientific selection. Means what? On the basis of what I told you? On the basis of knowledge, skills, ability, talent. A type रो हमें select करिबा. Right? जे की organization ପାଇଁ effective होबो, efficient होबो. And train them adequately. ताको तपरे training दबा. Rigorous training is highly essential for the person. Then after training we have to place in a particular place as per the organization requirement, as per the individual suitability, and remunerating them handsomely. तापर आमे ताको कोन करबा बहुत भलो remuneration दबा, right? So basing on this, the employees motivation and job satisfaction can be in that particular area. The employee motivation and job satisfaction will be there, and basing on this, the employee will give more effort, more dedication, loyalty, commitment also towards the organization. These things said by F.W. Taylor. जोटा कि in present day moment, every organization, प्रत्येक organization एई सब standing principles and technique को follow करछंती. And ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସବୁ organization, those are the successful organization. Every organization followed these principles and techniques, dear students. ବୁଝିଗଲ କି ପିଲାମାନେ? କିଛି doubt? କିଛି add କରିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବ? କିଛି doubt ଅଛି?
No,
ନା
ma'am.
clear? Clear ଅନ୍ୟ ମାନେ?
Yes, ma'am.
अच्छा ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଚलो, this is all about F.W. Taylor. ଆକୁ explain କରିବ ମୁଁ ଯେମିତି ପଢେଇଲି ହେଲା। ଯେତେବେଳେ question ଆସିବ 12 ମାର୍କ ର କି 8 ମାର୍କ ର, ତାକୁ କଣ କରିବ, ଏ ସବୁ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପଲ୍ସ କୁ ଟେକ୍ନିକ କୁ ତାକୁ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ explain କରି କରିକା ଯିବ ହେଲା। ତାପରେ ଚलो next, eminent personality thinkers, Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol was the father of administrative management. Henry Fayol किए ଥିଲେ रे? Father of administrative management. Henry Fayol, he born 1841 and died 1925. He was a French manager. F.W. Taylor was an American manager. Henry Fayol was a French manager. Henry Fayol contribution towards the management, organization, and the society, it is very wide, huge contribution. बहुत अधिक बहुत अनन्य contribution थिला हेनरी फ्योल कर. हेनरी फ्योल ही देखो जिते सब हमर कंट्रीब्यूटर एना अछंती ना, समस्ते सेमानक करियर को बहुत अर्ली एज रू स्टार्ट करथिले. जनरली जदि हमें कहबा F.W. Taylor, he started his career at the age of 18 years of age, 18 years old. Likewise, Henry Fayol also, he started his career at the age of 19. 19 ବର୍ଷରେ ସେ ତାଙ୍କ କ୍ୟାରିୟର କୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରିଥିଲେ. କଣ ନା ତାଙ୍କର ସେ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରିଦେଇଥିଲେ ଏଜୁକେସନ. Then he started his career in 19 years old रे, olds of age. कोडी स्टार्ट करथिले? In a coal French mining company. French रो गोटे कोल माइनिंग कंपनी रे से तांकर कैरियर को स्टार्ट करथिले. फर्स्ट एज ए इंजीनियर हैला. 19 इयर्स एज रे फ्रेंच रो कोल माइनिंग कंपनी रे एज ए इंजीनियर से तांकर कैरियर को स्टार्ट करथिले. एंड इन दैट कोल माइनिंग एरिया जैसे इंजीनियर है कि इनिशियली स्टार्ट करथिले एट द एज ऑफ 18 years old रे no. And finally at that particular organization he became a managing director in a very young age. Say company रे managing director हे गले बहुत young age रो. Henry Fayol generally he contributed many things towards the society and organization as F.W. Taylor. Out of many contribution, he wrote many books, many publications, many articles, many journals, many things. Out of many contributions, he wrote the book Principles of General Management. जेमती हमर F.W. Taylor कौन लिखिथिले रे? Principles of Scientific Management. Likewise, Henry Fayol also, he wrote one prominent book. The book name was Principles of General Management at the year of 1916. Right? And that book he wrote in a French language. को language रे लिखा इतला? French language रे. Then after his death, ତାଙ୍କର death ପରେ, at the year of 1949, से book को कौन करागला? Edited, ताको edited करागला, and edited करिकी ताको कौन करागला? ना general and industrial administration कह कि English रे से book को edited करागला. That French language book he wrote at the year of 1916, Principles of General Management. Then at the year of 1949, edited in English, converted into English, and the name of the title of the book was General and Industrial Administration. Through his contribution, जैसे books रे से contribution सब करतिले, ताको convert करिकी आजिका डेट रे आमे सब implement करिचे आउ ताको यूज मध्य करा जाउचे. हैला हेनरी फ्योल मन रखिबा अंक ऊपर एतिकी आउ जदी किछि एक्स्ट्रा ऐड करबा को चाहूचो यू कैन ऐड हियर. हैला किछि किछि ऐड करबा को चाहूचो एनीथिंग यू कैन ऐड जदी किछि एक्स्ट्रा हेनरी फ्योल को ऊपर जानिचो तो. हैला हेनरी फ्योल he contributed, as already I told you, many things towards the society and organization. Contribution by Henry Fayol, the 6 category of work activities, it means the activities of workers and the organization based on the 6 category. Apart from this, he contributed principles of management. Apart from this, he contributed the functions of management. Functions of management, already we have discussed, no, in your last to last class. Functions of management is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. It is the primary functions of management. But Henry Fayol, who is the person who contributed the functions of management towards the society, first he contributed the functions of management towards the society. Before that, एमती हमें प्लानिंग ऑर्गेनाइजिंग एमती गोटे फंक्शंस थिला, हमें टोटली कहीं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जान नथिले कि सोसाइटी भी जान नथिला. तो प्रथम हेले हेनरी फ्योल, फर्स्ट व्यक्ति जे कि एई फंक्शंस को कंट्रीब्यूट कले. फंक्शंस ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, व्हाट इज द एक्टिविटी, हाउ द organization have to do its work properly and systematically. He contributed the functions of management. 6 categories of work activities. Apart from this, he also contribute what is the attributes or qualities of a manager required for the organization. Apart from this, he contribute the principles of management. Out of many contribution, बहुत contribution भितरु हमें एतिकी contribution जोटा की organization रो as per the requirement of the organization identify करा जायछि, जेतले तांकर convert करा गला French रो English language रे तांका books को. So Fayol contributed, पिला माने एटी मु लेखिनी, हम already पढिचे हैला. Fayol contributed the functions of management, contribution by Fayol. He said the functions of management, the element of management and the functions of management based on the planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating and controlling. से कौन कहिले ना, the functions of the activity of business, the functions of business based on the 5 category. से भी 5टा category first ये develop करतिले. एला ता पूर्वरु किछि नथिला. First step is the planning, already we have discussed. Then organizing, it is highly essential, organizing and organization. Then commanding, commanding means giving instruction towards the employees and workers. It is a responsibility of the managers and leaders of the organization. Then coordination, coordinating, it is the most important, no, principles and factor towards the group and the team. And finally is the controlling, what the people they should do and what they should not do, right? So planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating and controlling, these 5 category of 5 step-by-step procedure and chronological sequence factors functions adopted by Henry Fayol. Apart from this, he also contributed 6 category of work activity. The organization should divide its work based on the 6 factor according to him. What? Now, technical, commercial, security, financial, accounting, and managerial. It means what? The whole organization, we have to divide into a different part. Activity, it must be divided into a different part, and different persons should be there who will take care that area, who will control that area. One is the technical activity. Technical activity, it relates to production and manufacturing, right? Already we have discussed many things contributed by F.W. Taylor towards production and manufacturing, right? Separation of planning and organization, planning manager and production manager, many things already we have discussed. So technical activity, based on the technical activity, one person should be there, one manager should be there. It is a responsibility of the person. The person should handle the production and manufacturing area. Then commercial activity. Commercial means what? Commercial means it is the based on the buying and selling, exchange of product. Here, the business have to the person must be there. Jone rahibo ta under kete jone rakhibo kon karibo, that is the responsibility of the organization, but it is a separate area should be there in the organization where buying, selling, exchange of products should be there. Apart from this, security activity. It means security, secured of the property, protection of the property, secured of the property. Organization as a whole, it is a responsibility of a person, a group or individual should be there. The responsibility of that person have to secure the organization as well as the whole property of the organization, every movable and immovable property, right? Accounting activity, it is the separate area should be there in the organization where the department must maintain the balance sheet, profit and loss, bookkeeping, maintaining profit and loss balance sheet, everything. Financial activity, it is we have to identify, we have to manage the financial resources, right? It is the optimum use of capital, not maximum, not minimum, optimum use of capital. That is a financial activity. And managerial activity, it is the planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. This is a managerial activity. So he categorized the business must be divided into a 6 category, and basing on these, different personalities should be there in that area, and who will look out the particular area and department. Apart from these, he also said the attributes or the qualities of a manager. এই যে ম্যানেজর মানে এটি কাম করিবে, আমি এটি ধর 6টা ম্যানেজর এটি নেলে ହେଲା, গোটে প্রোডাকশন পাই, গোটে ফিনান্স পাই, গোটে আকাউন্টিং পাই, গোটে সিক্ୟୁରିଟି পাই, গোটে কমার্শিয়াল পাই, এই যে তুমি 6টা ম্যানেজর নেলে তার কোয়ালিটি কোন রহিবা দরকার? What must be the quality? What must be the attributes and qualities the person should hold so that the person can handle that activity? He said the person must be physically or mentally, fitness is highly essential. Physically and mentally. Mental ability, judgment, understanding, everything it is must be excellent. And physical fitness, health-wise fitness is also highly essential. Apart from these, morals, ethics, values, the person have to hold himself and herself. Morality, ethics means always the person should do the right things, should not do the wrong things, So moral, ethics, values, it is everything the person should hold. Apart from these, qualification, experience, knowledge, technical ability in that particular area, it is also highly essential. So basing on all those qualities, the person can be a effective and successful manager in that particular department or particular area said by Henry Fromm. A through se ta department ko sambhali paribo, manage kari paribo. Without experience, without qualification, without knowledge, without ଆମେ production ରେ ରହିବା but production ର କାମ ଜଣା ନଥିବ ହେଲା machinery problem ହେଇଗଲା machinery କେମିତି solve ହବ ତାକୁ ଜଣା ନଥିବ finance ରେ ରହିବା but ଆମକୁ finance ରେ କାମ କରିବା account ରେ କାମ କରିବା but ଆମକୁ accounting କାମ ଜଣା ନଥିବ ତାହେଲେ କି ଲାଭ ସେଠି କାମ କରିକି ତ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସେ କହିଲେ ସେଇ ଏରିଆ ର knowledge skills ability talent everything the person must be hold ଯଦି ହେବ ତାହେଲେ ସେ ଏରିଆ କୁ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡଲ କରିପାରିବ so this is what the basic factors related to Henry Fromm right basic factor कौन रे ना the functions of management मने रखिबो business could be divided into 6 category छटा भाग रे business को से divide करथिले गोटे लोक एंटायर बिजनेस को हैंडल करि परिबो नाही सेति पई ता पई डिफरेंट पर्सन दरकार जोटा कि आज का डेट रे पूरा डिवाइड करा जाईची हैला एंड गोटे लोकर कोन क्वालिटी रहिबा दरकार से गोटे सक्सेसफुल मैनेजर हेई परिबो बुझिलो कि पिला माने
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके हैला जने दि जने यस करछन्ती बाकी तो सब महान पंडित आगो थिबे तो पूरा पंडित माने किछि तांकर कंप्लेन नै कि किछि बुझिबा नै जने दि जने यस कहले बा सरी गल यस कहबा को भी कष्ट आम पिला मान कोन बुझुथिबे से जानथिबे हैला चलो देन आसला प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट देखो हमें तांकर बेसिक कंट्रीब्यूशन डिस्कशन कले बेसिक तांकर जो मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन आसला जेमती कि हमें पढ़िले एफडब्ल्यू टेलन कर कौन रे ना टेक्निक्स एंड प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट आंकर मध्य गोटे मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन कहार हेनरी फ्रॉम कर से कंट्रीब्यूशन कौन रे द कंट्रीब्यूशन प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट दैट इज द 14 प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट ता माने हेनरी फ्रॉम 14 टा प्रिंसिपल्स डेवलप करथिले से 14 टा प्रिंसिपल को हमको मन रखिया पड़िबो all the 14 principles you have to remember properly then gotte भी remove kale hobo nahi hala so you have to remember Henry Fromm contributed the 14 principles of management so 14 principles kona na these are the 14 principles hala 14 principle that 14 principles we will discuss one by one gote line re कहूची ध्यान रे आकु सुनी दब हैला division of work first principles of Henry Fromm is the division of work means what the organization must distribute its work divide the work based on the specialization just आमेना पढ़ी के आसले छट एक्टिविटी रे बिजनेस को डिवाइड करा गला हैला प्रोडक्शन फाइनेंस अकाउंटिंग एमती करी कि छटा डिवाइड करा गला छटा डिवाइड करा गला मु कोन कहिली जदि जने अकाउंटिंग रे काम करबो बट तार अकाउंट रे नॉलेज नथिबो पाठ ही जान नथिबो ताले से अकाउंट रे फिट हे परिबो कि नो प्रोडक्शन रे जने काम करियो बट प्रोडक्शन रो एक्सपीरियंस नै कि क्वालिफिकेशन नै से प्रोडक्शन रे काम करि परिबो कि नो सो सी सेही जिंस एडी आउरी क्लियरली आइडेंटिफाई करले कोन कहिले डिविजन ऑफ वर्क इट मींस the organization should distribute divide work among the different head among the different person based on the specialization means what specialization means a person who is jeki jothire in those area the person is means that kind of qualification and experience must be there right so basing on this we have to divide the work based on the different personality and person one person cannot control handle the entire business that's why we have to distribute based on this specialization right authority and responsibility means what authority means it is highly essential authority means a manager a leader of the organization, right? And the authority have to take the responsibility. Authority is there in the organization, that is not sufficient. The authority have to take the responsibility. The whole responsibility, the entire responsibility, it is the responsibility of the authority. And basing on this only, the organization, the everything it run and goes smoothly, right? And if the authority is not there in the organization, then definitely the organization cannot survive. The leader is not there in the organization, the manager is not there in the organization, that organization cannot survive. For successful organization, we need a successful authority, best leader. Said by Henry Fayol. Discipline. It is the most important principles for every organization. Discipline means what? Every individual's group, team, we have to maintain peace, harmony, discipline in the organization. And how we can maintain discipline? If we will give respect towards the rules and regulation formed by the organization, adapted by organization, developed by organization toward every individuals. Right? Basing on this, we can maintain discipline. Right? तो टाइम है 10टा तुम आसब 12 बेलू ताले मु काली आसबी गोटे बेले टाइम समस्त 10टा बेलू आसवा कहार कंप्लेन रही तुम जब 12टा बेलू भोक लगे ताले मत भी 12:30 बेलू भोक लगे ना जदि लंच टा 1 ରୁ 2ଟା करवा ताले समस्त सही टाइम रे ये ब्रेक नेबे किछि काम रे प्रॉब्लम होबनी सो एवरी मु जस्ट गोटे एग्जांपल कहली एवरीथिंग नो स्मोकिंग जोन माने तमे भी स्मोक करबनी मु भी स्मोक करबनी ता माने तुमे जदि स्मोक करियो ताले आ गोटे लोक काई स्मोक करबनी. So discipline, it is the most important principle for every organization, and we can adapt, follow the discipline based on the what? If we will follow the rules regulation that developed by the organization. Unity of command. Then unity of command. Unity of command, it means, see, these principles adapted by Henry Fayol, को to adapt करते ले ना आर्मी रू अडॉप्ट करथिले कमांडर जनरली हमर कोठी रहते आर्मी रे हैला सो से ए कांसेप्ट से टू अडॉप्ट करथिले कोन कहिले से कहिले यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड वन यूनिटी वन ग्रुप वन मैनेजर मस्ट बी देयर हमर आज का डेट रे कोन अछि रे टीम मैनेजर टीएल हमें कोचे टीम लीडर गोटे टीम को गोटे लीडर कंट्रोल करियो से सब लीडर को के कंट्रोल करिवो स्टार्टअप रे हायरार्किकल पोजीशन हम कल पढी के आसले है टीएल हमरो आज का डेटा शॉर्ट फॉर्म में कहू टीएल टीम लीडर त माने ए कांसेप्ट कमांडिंग वन टीम वन लीडर से टीम रे केते जन रहिबे सेटा हम स्पैन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट रे पढिबा जाय कि आगु को गोटे टीम रे केते जन रहिले से टीम लीडर इफेक्टिवली से टीम टा को कंट्रोल करि परिबो सेटा हम स्पैन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट रे पढिबा गोटे चैप्टर अछि छोटो चैप्टर टी राइट. So one team, one group, one manager, one leader. It is the unity of command. Only one boss concept. More than one boss. Towards one team, but more than one boss. More than one TL, team leader. What will happen? Create conflict. So work may not be done properly. That's why he said unity of command means it is the one superior will be there who will command, who will guide, who will means what? Guide towards a one team. Unity of direction. Unity of direction said it is the extension of the unity of command. Any kind of direction where we will go, what we will do, how we will do means the team, no? That commander only give instruction towards the team. Unity of direction means all the persons should have one goal. It is a organizational goal. It is our personal goal kichi asilani. It is an organizational goal. All the person we have one goal, that is how to achieve the organizational goal. And that commander will give instruction towards the team and the group. Unity of direction. Those unity, the group is there in the organization, that commander will give direction towards the what? Towards the team and the group. Then after, pilamane, gotte second hold kar. हेलो पिला माने
Yes, ma'am.
अच्छा हैला यूनिटी ऑफ डायरेक्शन कौन कहली ना सेई गोटिए लीडर ही डायरेक्शन दबो काहाको तार टीम को हैला subordination of individual interest and common goal. See here, every individual, already I told you, every individual, we have a common goal. All the individual, we have a common goal. What is the goal? The goal how to achieve the organizational goal. Every individual, एठी हमर किछि पर्सनल गोल एठी नाही कि मु आसी कि मो पर्सनल काम करबी मोर पर्सनल एक्टिविटी करबी नो सो मॉर्निंग 8 आवर आज का डेट में केते घंटा काम करछ स्पेंड करछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे 8 आवर so 8 hour is the organization time so whatever may be the things you will do for the organization only your dedication loyalty commitment everything should be towards the organization right so every individual person it must be they have to develop himself and herself that kind of concept and thought process so we have to achieve the organizational goal common goal subordination of individual interest and common goal प्रत्येक individual interest रहिबा दरकार हमर हला गोटे common goal अछि से goal हला organization goal एडी आसी के हम पर्सनल काम करबानी के देन आसिला कोन इक्विटी तपर आसिला कोन रे remuneration see remuneration already I told you FW Taylor madhya kahitile organization have to provide select right person in the right job train them adequately place them where they suited and remunerating them handsomely see madhya kahitile remuneration is very much important remuneration lead to employee motivation and job satisfaction तुमको जदि मु पैसा देबिनी किछि देबिनी फैसिलिटी देबिनी तमरो मोटिवेशन आसबार तुम बंचिबो केमति जे तुम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डेडिकेट हबो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डेडिकेट हबा पई हबा पूर्वरु मते भी तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डेडिकेट हबा दरकार ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मो कथा बुझिले मु ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कथा बुझिबी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मो कथा बुझिबोनी मु केमति बुझिबी ता कथा मु तो हैरान होउची ना एइटा हमर माइंड रे आसीबो तो एठी कोन कहूची रेम्युनरेशन as per the qualification as per the experience as per the hierarchical position the organization should provide handsome full remuneration towards the employee and the workers right मु कहिबिनी मैनेजर पाउची 2 लाख टंका मु काई पाइबी 50,000 टंका मैनेजर काम अनुसार मैनेजर योग्यता अनुसार मैनेजर पाउचंदी मोर काम अनुसार मोर क्वालिटी अनुसार मु पाउची so as per the hierarchical position the organization have to provide handsome full remuneration and it is highly essential it is a monetary benefit right then asla kon re scalar chain centralization ऊपर हम चैप्टर पढ़िया छोटो चैप्टर टी व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय सेंट्रलाइजेशन व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन सेंट्रलाइजेशन कोन डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन कोन आगु जाय की पढ़िबा छोटो छोटो दिटा चैप्टर सेंट्रलाइजेशन मींस जदी हम एठी कहिबा हला in a simple manner centralization means decision taken by one person that is a leader of the organization authority is one who will take decision towards the organization and everybody have to obey it that is a centralization one chapter we will discuss later ठीक है scalar chain means it is again hierarchy scalar chain गोटा आसीबो chain principle कोन रे hierarchical position scalar chain means it is the hierarchical position from top to bottom scalar chain principle जोटा को से कहले chain system रहिबा दरकार ऑलरेडी हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर पढ़ी के आसीचे टॉप लेवल मिडिल लेवल लोअर लेवल एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑलवेज स्टार्ट फ्रॉम ए सिंगल पॉइंट जे गोटे लोक रहिबे टॉप रे सीईओ ऑफ द कंपनी राइट ता अंडर रहले टॉप लेवल देन मिडिल लेवल देन लोअर लेवल से अनुसार हम स्किल भी पढ़ी के आसी गलेनी एटा कंफ्यूज होबा किछि दरकार नै ताकू से स्केलर चेन बोली कहछन चेन सिस्टम ऑलरेडी आई टोल्ड यू द ऑर्डर मस्ट बी कम फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम एंड द रिपोर्ट मस्ट बी गो फ्रॉम बॉटम टू टॉप से जदी हमको टॉप वाला ऑर्डर देले हम लोअर वाला कोन करिया रिपोर्ट करिबा हम कोन ऑर्डर दबा की सो स्केलर चेन प्रिंसिपल एमिति अनुसार आमे कोन करिबा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे चेन सिस्टम अडॉप्ट करिबा टॉप मिडिल एंड लोअर ऑर्डर माने एटी कोन कहले ऑर्डर दबा नो सुपीरियर ऑर्डर सबऑर्डिनेट को दबो सेटा नो ऑर्डर मींस we have to arrange everything systematically orderly it means what everything in a systematically It is the arrange everything, and as well as it may be the human resource or it may be the non-human resource. Everything we have to arrange systematically. That is the order, we can say. No? Equity. Equity means equality. Equity mane kan re? Equality. We should maintain equality among the individuals. Equity. Right to equality. आम जदि फंडामेंटल राइट्स को इना जिबा जो हमर 6टा फंडामेंटल राइट्स अछि तर प्रथम कोन राइट टू इक्वालिटी राइट हमर प्रथम फंडामेंटल राइट को कहउची राइट टू इक्वालिटी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन शुड नॉट बी देयर in terms of caste, gender, religion, right? Place of birth, race, any kind of discrimination should not be there. So same principle said by Henry Fayol. He said equality is most highly essential in terms of the caste, religion, gender. Discrimination should not be there in the organization. समस्तଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ସମାନତା ଦେଖିବା ସମାନ ଭାବରେ ଦେଖିବା. That is equity, right? Equality principle କହିଲା. Stability. Stability means stable. Stable means what? The employee and worker, they should not frequently leave organization. Stability. Stability of staff. The staff, it should be there in the organization in a longer duration of time. Frequently, if the staff, they will leave, suppose ame koiba, if frequently the staff will leave the organization, ultimately the organization cannot achieve its goal. Successful cannot be possible. Mu asili mate recruitment kara hala asile process ita recruitment selection training, then mu place heli, place sala pare mu kon kali 2 मास pare chhad deli hela kichi kamo helani. पुणी जने आसिला पुणी रिक्रुटमेंट सिलेक्शन ट्रेनिंग सब कल पुणी से पळेला जने आसिला पुणी 6 मास परे से पळेला. अरे काम किए करिवो लोक तो आसीबे जिबे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डेवलप केमती हबो काम किए करिवो लोक तो सब स्टॉप गैप अरेंजमेंट पे आसिले सेही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रो डेवलपमेंट नाही सी सेमिति ध्वंस हबो. तो से कहले स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ स्टाफ. The staff should be stable in the organization. They should not leave the organization. Initiative. Those staffs are there in the organization. They should take the responsibility. They should know the responsibility. सबु बेले आसी लीडर कहबे नै तू ए काम करे तू से काम करे हंटर धरि कि कोन ये करी कहबो कि जे तोर एटा काम तोर सेटा काम नो. Initiative means I know my responsibility. I know my job. I know my task. I have to take my responsibility. सेटा को मते नबा को पड़िबो. से कामटे करिबी मते सेतरे किछि इंस्ट्रक्शन दरकार नै. Anything is new, anything is different, and that particular area guidance instructions is required. But what is my job? मोर टीचर मोर पाठ पढेबा हला काम मते कोआ जइबो कि तू एई टाइम रे पाठ पढेबो एमती पाठ पढेबो से ना मु जानिति. Something is different than मते को. I will do that. So that is what initiative. मु पिलांक प्रोजेक्ट रे गाइड करबी मु जानिछि. मु पाठ पढेबा काम मु जानिछि. एक सब मु जानि I know that. So but जानिछि माने न मते से कामटा को करबा को पड़िबो स्मूथली systematically. Right? And esprit de crops. Last principles of Henry Fayol. Esprit de crops. Amane kon re? Esprit de crops. देखो सब आमे मु कोन कहली स्टार्टिंग रे कहली कि एडा फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज रे थिला ताको कन्वर्ट करा हला इंग्लिश रे. तो एटा गोटे इत्ते भलो वर्ड थिला सब इंग्लिश रे कन्वर्ट करा हे गला. एटा गोटे इत्ते भलो वर्ड थिला जोटे कि फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज रो इंग्लिश को ताको कन्वर्ट करा गलानी ताको सेमती रखा गला. Esprit de crops. माने कोन? Unity is the strength. Unity is the strength. एकता ही बल. Esprit de crops. Unity is the strength. एकता ही बल से कहिले. Already Henry Fayol W टेलर मध्ये ता ऊपर बहुत कहिथिले हला ये मध्ये सेटा को एक्सटेंड कहले unity organization रे हमको कोन दरकार we need unity. We should work in a group. हमें छुआ बळ किते स्टोरी पढी के आछे. गोटे ओल्ड मैन थिले तांकर बहुत सारा पुओ थिले से माने सेपरेट हे जिबा को कहले से ओल्ड मैन बहुत सारा स्टिक देले कहले ताको ब्रेक कर बहुत सारा हमें ता ऊपर स्टोरी पढी के आछे. ग्रुप ऑफ ये थिले माने कोन कहलो पारा माने खाउथिबे एमती केते स्टोरी पढी के आछे हला. So unity is the strength. जोटा कि आमे ताको कहूचे एकता ही बल. Organization हमको कौन दरकार? We need a group. We need unity. Group is there, but among the group we need unity. Means we have to adapt the. If someone is saying something, the other person should listen. Other person should be accept. No. So we will work in a group. We will work in a team, and through where coordination, cooperation, mutual understanding, helping, supporting, guiding, ए सब थिबा दरकार. So that आमे कौन कहिबा ना सेटा गोटे हेई परिबो successful team and group and successful organization also will be there. So this is the 14 principles said by Henry Fell. पिला माने बुझिलो ना बुझिलो. According to Henry Fell, any doubt?
No,
पिला
sir.
माने no पूरा clear ना?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
very good.
ma'am.
ହେଲା आकु 14 टाको प्रिंसिपल को मने रखिबा गोटे गोटे सुंदर भाबरे एक्सप्लेन करिबो. Henry Fell को ऊपर जेतला आसीबो briefly explain the contribution by Henry Fell. लेखिबो functions of management business से जो छटा ये को लेखिबो Henry Fell का ई contribution सब contribution को Henry Fell कर लेखि के explain करिबो. ହେଲା चलो thank you students, bye bye, see you tomorrow. मु एडी स्टॉप कली क्लास को हैला किछि जति तमरो डाउट थिबो मते काली मते कहिबो मु क्लैरिफाई कर दे. टिके क्लास सरला परे टिके देखुथुबो कोन पढेली कोन टिके देखुथुबो जहा डाउट हबो नेक्स्ट क्लास रे मु क्लैरिफाई करी के देन नेक्स्ट स्टार्ट करथिबो. हैला पिला माने
Amen.
यस ना.
Yes, ma'am.
थैंक यू, बाय बाय.
Thank you, ma'am.